Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about HOMEWORX Strawberry Shortcake. Now, I know my reviews this week have been a little heavy on candles that have been sent to me in PR. Honestly, it's just the way that things kind of shaped out for me. So, yes, this is a candle that Slatkin & Co. did send to me in PR. They never tell me what I need to say. They just ask for an honest opinion, an honest review. And so here I am giving that to them and to you. So, this is part of the Party in the USA collection. I believe that this fragrance and Cherry Pie are the only new, quote unquote, new fragrances to this lineup. I believe it also includes, oh, what's the other one that they have, like a popsicle scent? Frozen Rainbow Pop, I think, is in there. Root Beer Float, maybe, or Root Beer. There's a couple of fragrances that are part of this packaging. But as far as I am concerned, the only two candles that I currently have from that collection are Cherry Pie and Strawberry Shortcake. Now, I did upload my Cherry Pie review for you guys last week, and you guys know I wasn't really that big of a fan of that candle if you caught that review. However, I did give a little bit of a sneak peek for how I feel about this candle, and spoiler alert, I like this one. So let's go ahead and talk about it. This is one of their standard 4-wick, 18-ounce vessels. We've got the beautiful photographic wraparound label going on here. I mean, that label just looks scrumptious. I've always said this, that HOMEWORX does a really great job with their packaging. And one of the things, too, that I have come to really appreciate about these vessels is that the photographic label is shrink wrapped on. So if you ever want to repurpose this vessel for anything else, like they make great candy dishes or anything that you want to just maybe, decorate your home with. The labels are pretty easy to take off, and then you can go ahead and repurpose it. So I personally give a lot of my empty candle vessels to a local florist. She really, really appreciates the glass, but I do try to clean everything out for her before I give them to her. So 4-wick, 18-ounce vessel. These do retail for $30, but HOMEWORX does run sales quite frequently. I would imagine, I don't have any insider information, but I would imagine with the Memorial Day weekend coming up this weekend that there might be some good sales being ran. But yeah, we've got this, standard HOMEWORX packaging that they seem to do very well. The fragrance notes listed on this candle are fresh cut strawberries, baked vanilla shortcake, fluffy whipped cream, powdered sugar. This candle does have a pour date of January 11th, 2025. So this one I actually don't feel like is super complicated to have to explain, because this fragrance is very, very similar to a competitor's candle that would bear similar, like a similar name. I'm just going to come out and say it. If you happen to have Bath and Body Works Strawberry Pound Cake and you really like that fragrance, this one is totally going to be in your wheelhouse. In fact, yesterday I went into Bath and Body Works. Fun fact, you guys, I have actually never purchased Strawberry Pound Cake, but I did go in and stick my nose in it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's very, very similar to this fragrance. Now, I can't say upon burn if they are the same fragrance, but the similarities are uncanny. I personally feel like if you are somebody who has Strawberry Pound Cake in your collection, if you have a lot of that fragrance in your collection and you're happy with the way that that candle is burning for you, then you probably don't really need this one. But I will say that I like this fragrance way more than I thought I would. I have mentioned that strawberry is a type of fragrance that I can take or leave. It's not really something that I automatically gravitate towards, but it's not something that I turn away from either. It has to be done well for me, and I will tell you that in this fragrance, it is done well. So what my nose detects in here is definitely very much like a sweet strawberry fragrance, maybe almost borderline candied strawberry. It does remind me a little bit of the strawberry note that is used in the Farm Stand Strawberry collection. I don't know if that candle has returned yet. I should go check the website. That fragrance is really nice. I keep waiting for that. And what's the other one? Farm Stand Blueberry. Oh man, Harry Slatkin, please bring back Farm Stand Blueberry and Key Lime Cake. this girl would be very, very happy if you would do that this summer. But the strawberry note that I find in here, it's not overly artificial. Like, it doesn't come across plasticky or anything like that, but it is definitely more of like a candied sweet strawberry, not like a natural strawberry. And then you do get the element of like a dense, almost pound cake. I know they say here shortcake. I feel like sometimes those of you who maybe are more familiar with baking, you guys can educate me down in the description box, or not description box, the comment section, what the differences might be between a pound cake and a shortcake. I'm sure that there are, but I do know that both of them tend to be a little bit more dense than like your typical light, fluffy cake. Yeah, it says here baked vanilla shortcake, and it is. It's not like a batter. It's definitely like a baked shortcake. The other thing that I do detect in here is they say that fluffy whipped cream, and I will say that the whipped cream accord in this candle, it kind of reminds me a little bit. I think it's the whipped cream accord mixed with the shortcake accord in here, that it smells like very similar to, there's something that reminds me a little bit of the berry trifle candle. If you guys have had berry trifle, now this is not the same fragrance. I'm not saying that. But the notes combined, to some people, I will say to some people, my daughter is one of them, it can come across a little bit yogurty to them. Like, my daughter smells this candle and she's like, it kind of reminds me of strawberry yogurt. She says it reminds her of is it like the Danimals yogurt that you give like kids, or maybe adults enjoy it too? But she says there's something about this fragrance that's what it reminds her of. Now, I personally don't think that. I definitely get more of like a pound cake accord. But again, I think that pound cake mixed with whipped cream, mixed with this strawberry, just in general might give to some noses that quote unquote yogurty effect. I really, really like this fragrance. Again, if you are a fan of Bath and Body Works strawberry pound cake, but you have gravitated away from purchasing that brand. I'm sorry, Cody's yelling in the background. He's fixing something on the car and trying to talk to our son. But if you happen to, if you prefer to purchase from HOMEWORX, if you like the way that the HOMEWORX aesthetic, if you like the packaging of this a little bit better, for whatever reason, if you want to take a risk on this one, but you love strawberry pound cake, then you're going to enjoy this one. But I feel like if you have a lot of strawberry pound cake in your collection, you probably don't need to purchase this. Let's go ahead and talk about the strength and throw on that and the performance. So you can see I've probably got maybe a third of the wax left in this vessel to keep burning. You can see the wicks here. They do tend to get a little bit long. They are self-trimming in terms of they don't get a ton of excess carbon residue at the ends. However, I do find myself still trimming the wicks just a little bit, because I do find with HOMEWORX wicks, if they get too long, then they might have a tendency to lean over and fall into the wax pool. I will also say that the first burn of this candle did take a little bit longer to pool out. I would allocate probably a good, I would say on the safe side, make sure you have about 4 hours of the first burn on this candle to get that complete wax pool. Now, I did not have the pooling out issues on this candle as severely as I did with the cherry pie candle. For whatever reason, cherry pie really, really struggled to pool out for me on the first burn. But this one, again, it pulled out a little bit quicker. So if you're planning to, on the first burn, if you don't have that much time to allocate, maybe pop it into a hurricane. I know that sometimes that can help, achieve that wax pool a little bit quicker. But after, successive burns after the first one, it pulled out pretty quickly for me. This candle does start to throw pretty quickly from the time that I started burning it. In fact, pretty much every time that I've lit this candle up, within 15 minutes, I can smell it. Strength on this one, I would give it a solid 8. It's definitely a stronger fragrance, not cloying, very, very pleasant. Again, I'm surprised how much I've liked this, because I've never purchased strawberry pound cake. I don't know why. And again, I know that Harry does not like comparisons between his brand and Bath and Body Works, but the truth of the matter is, a lot of people are familiar with Bath and Body Works. A lot of people can get their noses on those candles. And so sometimes as a reviewer, I've got to give comps. So that way you guys know, would this be in your wheelhouse or not? But I've never purchased that candle for whatever reason. And I'm sitting here going, why? I actually really like this fragrance a lot. But strength and throw on this, I would give a solid 8 too. I'm finding that as the wax pool is decreasing, like as I'm getting now towards the bottom, the throw is maybe more like a 7. I've had this candle lit now today for, goodness, probably about 4 hours now. So I'm going to extinguish it after this review. But yeah, this one is a pretty solid performer for me. I would recommend it. And I honestly plan on getting another one of these. I really, really enjoy pairing this right now with one of my favorite combinations is with the Kringle Candle Cherry Pie, which I did a review on a couple of days ago. I really like that pairing in here. Oh my goodness. It's like perfect, like summer gourmand type of fragrances going on. I really like that pairing. I also think that this would pair really nicely with, say, like their limoncello cupcake. It's a nice fragrance. So yeah, this one does get 2 thumbs up for me. It will be a repurchase for me. I think I want one more for this summer. So let me know in the comment box down below if you have purchased this candle, what your experience has been with it. I do believe that it may also be available on QVC in a duo, so you can always grab it there. Like I said, it is on the Slatkin & Co. website right now. I do have an affiliate discount code with them. Katie's Joyful Life should save you 15% on orders over $40. Usually that code can be applied if there's like a strike-through discount price, meaning like if you look, when you look at the product on the website, if you see that like it's normally listed for $30, but there's like a strike through going through and say it's marked down to like $22 or $23.50 or something like that, then usually my code can be applied on top of those type of sales, but it usually can't be combined with, like, say they have a buy one, get one, or if you have to enter a different code to get a discount, then you can't stack the codes. So just wanted to put that out there. It is an affiliate code eligible for a commission, so please only use that if you are comfortable doing so. So please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.